Today's topic is the 6 new lawsuits accusing Sean Diddy Combs of sexual assault. Hosts Bug Love and Hellen Cruz discuss the historical context of the previous allegations against Diddy, the potential impact of these new lawsuits on Diddy's public perception and career, and the legal implications of the allegations, including the burden of proof in civil lawsuits. They also discuss Diddy's potential legal strategies and the potential consequences for his business if the lawsuits proceed.
All right, everyone. Ready for a deep dive. Today we're tackling the legal whirlwind around Sean Diddy Combs. You know, those 6 lawsuits alleging sexual assault.
Yeah, heavy stuff. And it's complex. People hear lawsuit and think it's all the same.
Right, like it's straight out of Law & Order, cut and dry.
But we gotta distinguish, right? Civil versus criminal, big difference. These lawsuits, they're civil cases.
Which means what, exactly, for those who aren't legal eagles?
Think of it like this. In criminal court, you need proof beyond a shadow of a doubt that scales gotta tip all the way over.
Okay, high bar to clear.
Exactly. But in civil cases, it's more like, does the evidence lean one way? It's about what's more likely true, not proving something with absolute certainty.
So, lower burden of proof, but still.
Yeah.
We're talking serious allegations here. 6 women. And we're saying that because their identities are being protected right now. But 6 women are saying this wasn't a one-time thing, it's a pattern.
That's important, and we've seen the impact of multiple accusers before. Think Weinstein, Cosby. When you get several voices saying similar things.
It's hard to ignore, right? Like where there's smoke.
Exactly. Public perception shifts, even if a trial's years away. And looking at these lawsuits, another thing jumps out. The power dynamic. Diddy's mansion, music video sets, industry parties.
Not exactly places where you feel totally equal footing, are they?
Right, and that context matters. It's not just one incident alleged, it's a pattern of behavior. And that power imbalance, that's huge in cases like this, adds another layer to understanding what these women are claiming.
And it gets even more complicated when you remember this isn't the first time Diddy's been in this kind of hot water.
Yeah.
Back in '06, that nightclub thing.
Right, accused of assault, and while it was settled out of court.
Yeah.
It adds to the narrative, doesn't it? You see a history, and that's tough to shake, especially for someone in Diddy's position.
It's like they say, the past is a prologue or something like that, right?
Yeah.
Makes you wonder.
And that's the thing about these lawsuits. They could do real damage, even if they don't end up in court. We're talking about Diddy, a guy who built an empire. His whole brand is about success, aspiration, especially in the hip-hop world. So how does that square with these accusations?
Exactly. Like you were saying before about that scale tipping, even if it doesn't tip far enough for the accusers to win, Diddy's reputation, his whole brand, takes a hit. How bad could it get?
Imagine it like this. A couple of accusations, maybe they blow over. But this many lawsuits, that's a whole other story. Corporate sponsors, the ones who want a piece of the Diddy brand, they might start backing away slowly.
Yeah, like Ciroc, right.
Yeah.
He's been their guy forever. Do they really want to be associated with this?
PR nightmare, right. And brands hate bad PR. It's all about protecting their image. And then there's the court of public opinion. And these days, with social media, forget about it.
Oh, tell me about it. One viral hashtag, one trending topic, and it's everywhere.
It's a total echo chamber. Everything gets amplified. Hard to control the narrative when that happens. And for someone like Diddy, that's got to be a scary thought.
So even if he's innocent, this whole thing could still mess up his life, his career, his whole legacy.
Absolutely. And that's what makes the legal strategy here so interesting. If I was on Diddy's team, I'd be burning the midnight oil, looking for every angle.
Okay, so let's put on our lawyer hats for a minute. What could Diddy's team do to fight back against these lawsuits?
Well, one option is going after the accuser's credibility. Maybe suggest they're in it for the money, or try to find holes in their stories, inconsistencies in the timelines.
Basically, play hardball, make people doubt their stories.
Exactly. Create enough doubt to tip that scale back in Diddy's favor. But it's risky, especially these days. People are a lot more sensitive to these kinds of accusations.
Yeah, because if it comes across as blaming the victim or trying to silence them, that could backfire big time.
Totally. So another option, especially if even more accusers come forward, might be to try and settle.
Makes sense. Avoid a messy public trial. Try to control the story a little bit more.
Exactly. Damage control. Plain and simple.
So even with the best lawyers, not exactly an easy way out for Diddy.
Nope, not at all. It's a tough situation, and it just shows how much things have changed when it comes to these kinds of accusations.
It used to be a celebrity could weather this kind of storm, get the PR team working, issue an apology, and it would blow over. Not so much anymore.
Right. People are more aware, less forgiving, and like we were saying with social media, the pressure is relentless.
Whole new world, that's for sure. Makes you wonder how this is all going to play out for Diddy in the long run. Yeah, it really makes you think about the bigger picture here. We've talked about the legal stuff, the impact on his businesses, but this goes beyond Diddy himself, doesn't it?
100%. This case and others like it, they're bringing up some really important questions about how power works, especially in places like the entertainment industry, but really everywhere. How do we make sure everyone feels safe, respected, that their voice matters?
$1 million question right there, and not an easy answer. But these conversations are so important to have. We can't just pretend these things aren't happening anymore.
Exactly, and you're seeing a real shift in how things are dealt with. It's not enough for someone like Diddy to just say, nope, didn't happen, and think that's the end of it. People want more than that now.
Transparency, right? Accountability. It feels like the bar has been raised.
For sure. That whole thing of putting out a vague statement, saying you're sorry without really saying you're sorry, those days are over. People see through that now. They want to see real change, not just words.
So what does that mean for someone in Diddy's shoes? How do you navigate that kind of pressure?
That's what's so interesting to me. Is he going to use this as a wake-up call, a chance to reflect, to grow, to maybe even become an example of how to do things differently? Or is he going to lawyer up, deny everything, and hope it all just goes away?
Two very different paths, and I'd imagine very different outcomes, not just for him, but for everyone involved in this.
Absolutely. This isn't just about what a court decides. It's bigger than that now. It's a moment where people are rethinking things, challenging the old ways. And it shows that even if you're Diddy, even with all that power, all that influence, you're still accountable for your actions.
Powerful stuff.
Yeah.
It really makes you wonder what his legacy will be when it's all said and done. Will he be the music mogul? Or will it be these accusations that define him?
I don't know, but one thing's for sure. This whole idea of accountability, it's not going away. Not anymore.
Nope, not a chance.
Yeah.
Well, that does it for our deep dive into the allegations against Sean Diddy Combs. This is a story with a lot of layers, and we'll keep following it as things develop. But the takeaway here is clear. Power and fame don't make you untouchable. Actions have consequences, and in the court of public opinion, everyone's on trial. Thanks for joining us, everyone.
Thank you once again for listening. If you enjoyed this chat, share it with your friends, subscribe to the channel, and activate the notification bell because we'll be back at any moment.